before I start, I would like to acknowledge that our campus is located on the traditional lands of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples, the Songhees, and the Esquimalt nations. And we are very grateful to be able to learn and work in these beautiful lands where past, present, and future Indigenous and non-Indigenous students, faculty, and staff join together on a common goal. So thank you all for your interest in this topic for this webinar. And I would like to introduce our agenda today. But before I do that, I would like to introduce our two panelists. I would like to introduce Alejandra Huerta, my dear colleague. She's the Senior Career and Learning Development Advisor at the Career and Learning Center. And my other colleague, Juan Cuesta, who is a job developer at Royal Roads University. So we will all be talking today about specific topics of interest for you that are trying to search for a job. You're a Royal Roads student, or maybe you want to be a student at Royal Roads, or maybe you are representing other students and want to have more information about where to find a job, how's the labor market in Victoria right now, what are the services that our Career Learning and Development Center offers to our students. So all of these topics are going to be covered today in the webinar. So to talk a little bit more about our agenda, and I would like first to give the floor to Alejandra and Juan, if you want to say a few words. Alejandra?
Well, hello everyone. Good afternoon, good evening for whoever you're connecting with. Paulina is Spanish speaking when I started this. I've been with Royal Roads for quite some years. I have the opportunity to have been here as in different areas from program offices, supporting the teams, as well as I was an associate faculty in a specific program. So I know very well what is the process that you will be exploring through what if you're currently a student or what you would like to be. And I completed my graduate studies. I was at that point of my career where I had been working 15 years in the same industry. And my life had changed. The priorities that were put into my pathway were directing me to some changes. And it was through pursuing my graduate studies that I took that risk at that moment. Is very daunting, going back to university, academic writing, as I don't know how many of you are current students. But that really led me to the next transformation, because what I know is in careers is not one single journey, is the many that come and the doors that open. So I'm very excited that through that, my own experience, I'm able to as well to continue bring that. I'm a member of the Association of Cooperative and Work Integrated Learning for British Columbia and Yukon, and I'm part of the Professional Development Committee. So I'm very as well close to what the sector of all post-secondaries in BC and the Yukon are looking to really elevate in these for students in post-secondary with work integrated learning, and how can they really integrate more quickly into the workplace. So that's a little bit about me. I'm originally from Mexico, 28 years in Canada. My heart will always belong to Mexico, but this is as well my home. It's a pleasure to connect with you. Juan, over to you.
Thank you, Ali. Hi, everyone. My name is Juan. I joined Royal Roads University 6 months ago in my capacity as job developer. A little bit more about myself. I arrived to Canada 6 years ago with an open work permit. My wife arrived as an international student. So I am very familiar and very close to the experiences of international students, and as a newcomer as well, to start a new career here in Canada. After a successful career in my home country in Ecuador, I decided to try new different career paths for myself in the career development area 6 years ago. And this is one of the areas that I'm really fascinated about. And I have been throughout these years advising and helping newcomers and immigrants how to develop a career in Canada, how to actually transition to a new career or continue developing their own careers if that's the case. And now in this capacity as job developer, one of my main roles is to establish connections and facilitate connections between students and employers. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that now with Ariadna and Alejandra. So thank you for the invitation, Ariadna. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you both, Alejandra and Juan, for joining us today. My name is Ariadna Sachdeva, and I am the representative for Latin America at Royal Roads University. And today we're going to be talking about the career coaching and guidance at Royal Roads University. We're going to be talking about some networking opportunities that Royal Roads offers with industry professionals. We are going to be also discussing some job search strategies for a specific field of study. That's very interesting. And also, what are the activities we do at Royal Roads on resume writing, job interviews, and other things. So first of all, I would like to start with the first question. So what does career learning and services look like at Royal Roads, and why is that important? I know so many students, so for the students, they come to a university, they come to get a degree to change their lives, to improve their skills, to do much more in their professional fields. So how do Royal Roads help them with those goals? So why this Career Learning Center? So tell us a little bit about that, Alejandra.
Thank you so much. I was going to do the mute one, but I caught myself. Thank you. And it's great to thank you for students. A couple of you mentioned that you are actually current students right now, which is great to know that. If you haven't responded and you are one to, please jump in there and let us know. You know, Ariana, one of the most important thing is, so career services is part of all the suite of services that are available to students. Once you become a Royal Road student, and I think some of you have been experiencing, you have this vast areas of support from Writing Center, the library, financial aid, accommodations. And within those is career learning and development. Why? Because we understand that this is an important piece in your entire journey. We really advocate for students to not leave the questions about how am I transferring what I'm learning and the learning outcomes of my academic courses to what it's applicable in the industry until the last minute, once you finish your studies. We really want to engage students early on to start making those connections, starting to see value in your academic assignments as opportunities for you to start developing your labor market strategy. What is that you're learning? Who are those key players? How do they come? So career services, career learning and development, we are a unit, and within our unit, we have two areas. The Career Learning and Development Advisors, which we're 3 to support the entire university. So we're very, very busy, but we love what we do and we're passionate about it. And we have our Employer Services team too, which as well, that's where Juan is part of, which is really a very important piece that we not only support students, but we're still really close connected to industry. Right? What are the partners telling us is important to them? What are they hiring? What are they hiring paces? And that's a lot of the statistical information and what are the opportunities that our Employer Services team keeps on appraise of. And then they create events as well for our students to participate. And those events, we post them. And we'll talk about this a little bit later. But career advising really is one that we'd like to say it starts at the beginning. We all understand you have a different capacity. You start arriving as a student. Maybe you haven't been a student for many years. Maybe you come right from your undergrad, and that's okay. But it's as well for you to be kind that maybe at the beginning is getting the understanding of what's happening at the university, but connecting with us You can see us through individual appointments. You can see us through dropping. We offer dropping hours every week, and Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So you don't need to make an appointment. You can just come on campus. And our appointments are virtual or in person. So I see quite a few here now who have shared with me that you are current students, so you can come to us. You can come to us and start seeing, how am I making purpose of these studies? How does it connect to what the industry is telling us important? And those conversations really are critical, and we invite students to engage with us as early as you can, but we as well respectful that to be kind as you become a new student, to first immerse into what's important, your academic studies, and then build time to be adding how now I'm connecting to what's the employers. How are they telling us what are the next steps? So a little bit of career advising. We are 3 advisors, as I mentioned to you, and the forms of connecting with us can be diverse. It could be through events, it could be through individual appointments, or through prerequisite courses. And we have as well a self-paced course online that we offer to all students as well. So if in the midnight hour you have this posing question, you can come to our website as well and find that course that could be available with you for some activities.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alejandra, for that. And now I would like to ask, what are the personalized career coaching services we offer to students? So how does that look like? When you become a master's student, for instance, I'm a Master of Global Management student. I would like to know more about your services. I'm maybe trying to look for a job. Where do I start? Does this start at the very first day of your journey as a student at Royal Roads? So what does that look like?
Thank you, Ariana. You will start seeing to us in orientation. You will hear from us in your orientation. We have one specific for international students, because we know as international students, you have many different and what I said is requirements as well to keep in mind when you're engaging with employers. So we come as well. We want to talk to you about job search safety. It's so critical. There's so many sites and available right now to where to explore opportunities. However, because you're international and because it makes you more vulnerable. And these predators, like any sector, they're out there and they know how to tally information to catch your attention. So we come early on in orientation to share some of the things you need to keep in mind. And the rule that maybe all our parents told us since we were young, if it's too good to be true, this is too good to be true. Please do not click in any of that. Do not engage in it. Nobody should be. So we talk about employment standards, right? Nobody should be requesting your personal information at the interview or application stage. That is really once we move into contracts. So we do a lot of that on orientation. Later on, we as well are embedded within your program. So depending, I see a couple of students here from the global leadership, from tourism management. I think that's the 2 I see. So I can say that from both of those programs do have a work integrated learning in the form of internships as options, completion options of your programs. When you have that completion option in your program, we offer a prerequisite mandatory course if you decide to pursue this, which is called the Career Management course, and is really a requirement. Why we have this is because we want to make sure that you get the most up-to-date information on what are the practices that you need to take when you're presenting yourself. First, to make an evaluation of where you're at this stage. Many of your programs, especially in leadership, you'll talk about values, right? Value systems are so important for leadership. Well, what are you learning from those courses to then apply them into you and your own career? How are you making this inventory of where you're at this stage? To then start making sure you have a good base to start understanding what does then the market needs. How I'm going to be able to transfer my needs to what the requirements are for that industry, for that sector within Canada. If you're looking globally, that is okay too. we give you the perspective of Canada in our course and how to keep your documents set up from that lens, right? It is not uncommon, Ariadna, and I don't know how many of my students here, right? The differences between a resume and a curriculum vitae, right? And other things that come into it. But that's what I could say. It's that first time, it's orientation. Then we come into your program offices. You'll hear about events. So we publish these events on our website. Juan is going to talk to you about this beautiful platform that we want all students to join from day one. And it's called Career Roads, because that's how we disseminate information that comes from employers. And then secondly is the customized and personalized one is when you're really coming down to that individual meeting, right? Some of you may not opt for the internship. Maybe you want to do the specific research or the capstone or another course that you know is valuable for your skills that you need upon graduation. So then you come to us in an individual appointment, and then we can look at your case. One of the things we try to avoid is to generalize. Each one of us has a different set of skills, professional background, education, and aspirations. And we treat you as that, as an individual at the stage of your life with the external factors that are playing to make the decisions that you're making today. So I hope I gave you a little bit of an idea of how we do it. And we try not to see you once. We try to have this journey along the way of your 1, 2, or 4 years if it's an undergrad.
Thank you so much, Alejandra. Just to clarify, so only if you're taking the internship option as a completion option for your master's degree, you will be able to take this course that is required?
Thank you. There's 2 ways. Thank you for saying that, Ariadna. It is mandatory to do the internship, but all students, even in your program, if you're not doing the completion option, you can still request to do this prerequisite. And we really encourage students to do so. It's not uncommon that I could have 2 or 3 students in our courses that are not pursuing an internship, but they really want to build time to start learning about the strategies and tools. We are here not as a job placement institute. We're not here to give you jobs. We're here as an education institute to provide you with the tools and strategies on how you can be successful after graduation. How can you build right now those skills based on career theories? Because we are part of we're in the education system, and based on the career theories, based on the information that we gather through our members and all that, what's important, and from the industry, we inform these strategies for you to develop them. I just wanted to see if I may, just this week, a student from, just reminds me, Masters of Tourism Management, she graduated 3 years ago, and she just so sweet sent me a message saying that finally, today, she's reaching that point where she understands all the work that we did together back then, and her practice in developing her network has led her to the positions she was looking for. And she just took the time to send a note. And we know sometimes it's not immediate. It takes time to build that because you come from zero from your network and you're trying. So how you use this time as a student to build is so important, so you don't delay that integration process. Thank you.
Excellent. So Alejandra, one last question for you about that topic. Would you recommend all the students of RRU to take that course?
I do, but the only thing is sometimes is the capacity within the programs, Ariadna, and that's something I want to be, many of you, I don't know, Paulina, Juan, Priya, you're not just students. Maybe you're a spouse, maybe you're a parent, maybe you are carrying a part-time work and many other situations. So is building the time and the capacity to participate. We do have, as I mentioned before, a self-directed course. So you don't need to enroll into a prerequisite and be part of that at a certain time with a certain start and end date. You can as well access that self-paced open education resource that was developed as well, because at RRU, we know all our students, some of them are blended, some of them are on campus, they have different time frames. So if these questions come at a later time and you were not able to join the career management course at that moment when it was available, you could still get that information in our self-paced course.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So usually I get students to say, hey, I just started my program. Can I work? How many hours can I work? Is there on-campus work? Are there job positions available at Royal Roads? Yes or no? And if no, where can I find work? And Royal Roads, can Royal Roads help me get a job? How do they help me? What is the process? And is there any opportunity, networking opportunities? What are all the services that we offer at Royal Roads to help our students succeed while they're studying at Royal Roads and after they graduate?
Can I
Yeah.
pass that one to you, Juan?
Yeah,
Yes, Juan.
absolutely. Exactly. That's one of the many questions that we receive, and I think that's the main reason Royal Roads University made an investment to have a very powerful platform system that it's called, as Ali mentioned, Career Roads. This is a place actually for students where they can connect with employers, where they can find curated and safe employment opportunities. As Ali was mentioning, at the employer services team, we actually develop sustainable and long-term relationship with employers, right? Raising awareness about the different programs, the different students profiles that they bring out, the wealth of skills and experience and background that they bring. So we raise that awareness and we raise that interest to employers. And actually, that's where employers go also to Career Roads to post employment opportunities. These can be part-time opportunities, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, internship, co-op positions, even volunteer positions. And we do it with different industries, right? The private sector, the nonprofit, and the government, the public sector as well. So in Career Roads is where students will find these different employment opportunities. This is, as Ali was mentioning, it's a safe place because the information is actually very clear in terms of what the opportunities are real, right? And that's where students can not only apply for jobs, but they can also engage in different events that are happening. You were mentioning about networking. We know how important it is to do networking when you are developing a career, when you are transitioning to a new career, how important it is to raise those contacts and to have a strong networking. So we have also events posted in Career Roads where students can register, can attend, and also we have a breadth of resources available for students in Career Roads in terms of websites, publications, labor market information, current labor market trends. So students have access to this hub of information and this wealth of possibility of connections with employers to find, as you were mentioning, part-time jobs or full-time jobs. And this is not available not only when you're a student, but actually for alumni as well. So this is the hub. This is the very powerful platform system that Royal Road has that enables the students to find those opportunities. So, and that also makes and what we also looking for is to make students more efficient time, right? Because we know how important it is when you're a student time actually, right? So the system allows you and will give you customized and tailored information about the possibilities that you have to apply for jobs based on your interests, based on your background, based on your academic profile. This system will give you suggestions, recommendations, where to apply for jobs, what type of jobs are available for you.
That's excellent. But let's go deeper. I have more questions about that. So this platform is run by Royal Roads. So as a job developer, is it your job to go to different industries and different organizations and ask, okay, if you have a job opening, would you be able to post it for our students? How does that work? How does Royal Roads goes out and reaches to employers to let them know, hey, we are training amazing human beings that can be employed. And if you have any job opening, can you post it in this website? How does that work?
That's exactly what we do. We reach out to employers. We reach out to different organizations. And basically that's what we do. We will raise the awareness of the potential that our Royal Road students have and how can they match what they are exactly looking for. And sometimes it's not even just the positions they're currently hiring, which we invite them to create those positions in our system so students are available to apply. But also sometimes we create those positions with employers. Sometimes employers will just share with us the issues that they may have or challenges or some certain unfinished projects that they may have. So that's when we say, hey, maybe this is an opportunity for a student to help you with that. Ale was mentioning about work integrated learning. That comes in different forms. It could be an internship, could be a co-op placement, could be a field practice, or could be a project, right? So there are different ways that students can engage with employers, and that's what we do. That's what we let employers know, that there are different alternatives for Royal Road students to engage with them in different capacities. And Career Roads is the platform. That's the hub where those students meet with employers' needs, and that's where the opportunities exactly come up. So, and the relationship development that we do, it's not only about employment opportunities, which is a big component, but it's also in terms of events as well, in terms of networking opportunities. So we engage with different organizations to create those places, those events where students can meet professionals through industry talks, coffee talks, employer roundtables, for instance, or panels, where students actually have the opportunity to also meet the employers, to talk with them and talk about their career aspirations, ask questions to employers in terms of what type of skills they're looking for, right? What opportunities are in their organizations? How can they leverage their experience that they bring to land in new job opportunities? So it's a wealth of components of that, about that.
That's amazing. I'm very curious about, could you say a few examples of employers that already use this platform? And could you maybe tell a little bit about how many jobs we might find there? Just an average,
Yeah,
just to attract more
absolutely.
the attention.
Just to give you probably a couple names, for instance, BC Ferries, which is one of the biggest employers in Victoria, has been using Career Roads for quite a while now, and they usually very active posting employment opportunities in Career Roads. We have different crown corporations, BC Assessment, BC Pensions, and they constantly posting full-time, part-time opportunities as well, co-op and internship placements as well, especially when it comes to the internship opportunities. These names that I just mentioned, think about Royal Roads immediately, and they will post those opportunities. They have hosted intern students in the past. The experiences have been very positive in the past, so they're usually very eager and willing to repeat those experiences with new students as well.
Excellent, excellent.
And I'm sorry, and just you had a second question about the terms of number of job opportunities. We approximately have around 130 employment opportunities, active postings in Career Roads. So it's approximately that number, and it's a combination of full-time, part-time, internship opportunities, co-placements, field practices, and voluntary jobs as well.
Excellent. That's amazing. Great information. You were also mentioning that students meet employers sometimes through the internship or co-op, but also field trips and projects. Um, I want to talk a little bit about the projects at Royal Roads, how students meet employers in a different way. For instance, we usually say that at Royal Roads, students learn or get evaluated by projects, like they are giving a challenge or a problem to solve. It could be a problem in Victoria, or it could be a problem in Canada, and then they propose solutions to those problems, and usually they meet the employer and present those solutions. How does that look like at Royal Roads? Could you explain a little bit more about this experience at Royal Roads? It's very unique.
If I may jump in, Ariana, yeah, that is really program specific, but it's wonderful, right? I think this is where the applied learning, that is the commitment of Royal Roads on the majority of all the programs. And I see we have some students here from different programs. I think the MATAM students, I know they go out there they have been creating great documents for smaller destination organizations such as SUC and Langford. They've done work for them. So in the program itself, depending on the courses, they will provide some of this orientation where they find a client and they have to develop. I think from the career perspective, what we ask the students is then, how do you use this information that you've been able to develop the skills to then talk about it when you're connecting with others? Could this be the platform for you to have that conversation on what you created? What did you find? What was the key takeaways? And how you're demonstrating that critical thinking and analysis? And even the teamwork, right? What did it look when you were talking to different stakeholders when you're doing that project? Maybe it was an employer, but maybe you were as well interviewing their stakeholders. So projects is program by program. It changes. What we get very excited in our career learning and development department is that we definitely see the correlation of students participating in that to then articulating the evidence of how that skills are demonstrated to convey that then to employers and to say with local organizations that have added value, right? That's what they want. All the employers want to say, what do you bring that can benefit us, right? They don't want more problems. They have enough problems to solve. What they want is people who come and going to help them advance and help them get, benefit them into advancing what's their agenda. So those projects are very valuable. But I cannot go into the details of the academic side, but from the career perspective, we love them. And sometimes students share with us those projects in our one-on-one appointments. And some associate faculty bring us along from time to time to support them with that into what does it mean then up to this project, and you do the reflection of the applied learning. How does this impact not only your knowledge base, so your informal experience, but as well, how can then you translate this to the skills that you could demonstrate or the competencies that you're building?
Excellent. Thank you, Alejandra. All of us know that networking is key when you need to find a job. So how does Railroads help students with those networking opportunities to reach out to those employers or career opportunities for later on when they graduate, or maybe when they're working part-time or volunteering while they're studying at Railroads?
Yeah, if I can.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, there are different ways, and there are several alternatives for students to increase their social capital through networking. And I'm just going to name a few of them, or just a couple of them, and maybe Ali can complement on that. But one of them is we have partnerships with several organizations where we promote events. For instance, to give you one example, we have a partnership with the West Shore Chamber of Commerce. This is a nonprofit organization that promotes economic growth within the region. So we sometimes organize periodically coffee talks with them. So students have the opportunity to meet with members of the chamber, with small and medium businesses, where they have the opportunity to meet with them, to do networking, and to start actually that relationship, that professional relationship with those members. We also have a partnership with 4BI. That is another social enterprise organization that promotes economic development and very related to the tourism and the hospitality sector. So that's another partnership that we have, and we constantly organize events as well. With Eco Canada, it's the same thing with the environmental side. We co-host events where we bring employers from those industries and make them available for the students to connect through different capacities. These events are sometimes held in person, other times are doing virtual, and other times are also on a hybrid mode, on a dual mode as well. So students that are attending the campus, but also students who are taking virtual classes, have the opportunity to engage with employers. And another example that is very effective in terms of networking is the mock interview clinics. which is an interview preparation practice the students do before they actually enrolling in the internship course. And the mock interview clinics are actually performed with employers, local employers. These could be human resources managers, talent specialists, recruitment specialists that attend to this event, and they interact with the students. They provide feedback in terms of their interview skills, but they are also very interested and they're willing to come to these events because they want to meet potential new employees. And that's a great opportunity for them also to interact with the students. So that is a great opportunity for students to do networking, to meet actually professionals in the hiring field through the mock interview clinics. So that's just to give you a couple examples of the opportunities that students have to do networking through this capacity.
I can talk to that because one of the best experiences I've ever had as a staff member at Royal Rose is that I've been invited to the mock interviews. So I've been, I just sit down and have this opportunity to meet students that are so amazing, and they come ready with their resume and with their interview questions, and then we go through everything, and then I conduct an interview, and then I am able to give them feedback once the mock interview is done. And I think for me, it was such an amazing experience to get to know the student and to connect. And I felt honored to be able to do that. So it's a great way to help the students, but it also helped me to meet our students and to know how much value they can bring to us as an organization, as a university, but also to the potential employer that they're going to meet in the future.
Exactly.
So it is a great opportunity. So regarding networking opportunities, the students also, when they come to study a program, they want to meet the industry professional. So they want to meet the people or the organizations that work in their field that they're interested in or that they're studying about. Is there any specific events that the students get to meet the industry professionals? Like
There are specific
talk
events.
about the industry in general?
Yes, there are specific events related to certain to specific industries. Just to give you an example, in November we are hosting a symposium of justice. So this is specifically for students in the social justice programs. So we're going to have 4 employers or 4 or 5 employers that will be attending this symposium of justice and the different type of justices that are in the province. So this will be an opportunity for students not only to learn what the panelists are going to share, but also an opportunity to learn more about these organizations and how can they actually engage in those organizations in different capacities as well. I don't know, Ali, if you want to complement with other opportunities as well.
Yeah, thank you. And it's justice as well, climate justice, transformative justice, because justice is not only on the social end. So we're going to have quite about that gamut. And we want students to participate, taking place on November 5th. On Thursday, professional associations. We have 4 professional associations coming to talk to us about the value of professional associations. You talk about networking, Ariadna. What is your awareness? So I'm going to call the students of the professional associations that your industry, what you're passionate about, belong to. So where are those like-minded individuals who want to advance that sector come together to see what are the opportunities to advocate, to develop policy? That's such an important piece of networking. And we really invite students to start identifying them. And this time, Thursday, on a virtual event at lunch, I posted it earlier, we're having 4 of them coming. Even if they don't fall under your usual radar, I would say it's always so valuable to come and listen, right? There's membership for students many times. They allow sometimes for you to participate in some way. Some of these associations have mentorship, have their own job boards at some times that they can come through them. But the most important thing is, how do you learn what's important to them? What are the challenges and trends that networking with people in this field will help you understand, okay, what I bring from my professional background or from my other sector is valuable here. So this is how I'm going to have to articulate that. So that's that labor market strategy that we all had to do. So professional associations. For tourism, we had World Tourism Day. We had a great event where we brought people very, in the sector to talk. Just the other day as well, for our business students, we had as well professionals coming and being engaged. All these events are shared through our Career Roads platform, and that's the one Juan was talking to you, that we want all students. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to take a poll, Ariana. How many of our students here, Juan, Paulina, Lawrence, and Priya, do you have a Career Roads account already? It's okay. You can raise your hand and say, yes, I do. And if you don't, it's okay. But I'm going to give you the link. Can you raise your hand? Paulina, you do. Lawrence, excellent. Priya, not yet? Yes, you do. Excellent. And what about Juan? Okay, Juan, we're gonna be connecting with you. I'm gonna let Juan to give you the link there to Career Roads, because that's how we disseminate information. And the beautiful thing, it takes you 2-3 minutes to log in, put your profile in the system. Always do it first on your computer, and then guess what? You can load it in your phone. You can download the app, and this is a great how to boost your job strategies. Download the app and sign up for the notifications, because anytime there's events or there's job postings related, it's going to come to your feed, so you're not going to miss them. So those are a couple of the ones we're having, and the key one, and we have our Employer Connect. Once a year, we bring employers on campus. We bring them on campus for the dialogue. We are not, and this is the part where that allows it for that individual conversations. So networking comes through the events. Networking comes from the guest speakers that come to your own classroom. Networking comes as well in the associations, well, Eco Canada, West Shore, who has, by the way, for the 4 students who are here, West Shore extended that any Railroad students who want to attend their member events, they can send them an email in the member, I would like to attend this event, I'm a Railroad student. And if there is enough room, they will let you in without any cost. And that's a benefit of being a Railroad student. So there's many ways how you could do this. And that's why we know that there's a career tier on Plan Happenstance. If we're ready beforehand, knowing what's important to us, how we articulate our value, how do we make meaning of what we're learning to what's needed out there, when those opportunities by chance that come, we'll be better prepared to articulate what we have to offer. It's on Plan Happenstance, so I love that.
Excellent news. So get that app going and download it right away. And if you're looking for a job or a networking opportunity, volunteer opportunity, that's the place to be. Could you please repeat the name of the app, of the program, of the platform?
The platform is called Career Roads. I just
Career
shared the
Roads.
link also in the chat system.
That would be great.
The software that runs the platform is called Simplicity, but actually it's the official name for Career Roads is Career Roads. And as Ali was mentioning, it's not only internal events. Obviously, those are the most important ones, are mostly directed specifically for Career Roads students. But we also promote and we post in Career Roads external events from employers when they are organizing their own events, network, especially related to networking, to career planning, career development, also events that employers might be organizing. If we see that those might be important for Railroad students to attend and to engage, we will create the event in the system so the students will have the opportunity. So that's what with Ali were mentioned. The importance is that we take the time to understand whether this event or an external event is relevant for a Railroad student or not, whether it's safe to attend, whether it's important to attend or not. So in that way, we're helping the student to be more efficient with their time when they are searching for networking and career development opportunities.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So right now I'm a Railroad University student and I'm not quite sure about what to put in my resume. I don't know what a resume is or a curriculum vitae, which one of the two I should use, and is there a template? What is the interview process like? Maybe if I'm an international student, I've never had an interview, a job interview in Canada. What does that process look like? Will it be different? Do I have to put, what do I have to write in my resume? Do I have to write my age, my gender, my marital status? I went through all of that when I first started looking for a job in Canada. How does Railroads University help students navigate the Canadian labor market and system? What do you do for the students?
Yeah, thank you so much, Ariana. Well, we have a lot of this information is in our site. I don't know if I can take control from you, Ariana. Would you allow me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I just wanted, because I think sometimes it's easier to follow. I hope the students, oops, okay. I think I may need to make a co-host.
Yes, I'll
All
do
right,
that right now.
great.
Okay.
And maybe from our
Yes.
students, has anybody visited the Career Learning website before? You can raise your hand or not.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. and
No?
you can share.
Okay. That's wonderful. Okay, so let me show you. So when you're on Railroads page, your current students, if you're a prospective student, but I think the majority of you who are here are current students, you will scroll down to Career Learning and Development. Under Career Learning and Development, you will find some resources. So, you know, if in the middle of the night, a question comes to you, what should I do, whatever it is, come here, right? We have career planning resources, jobs and events. This is where career roads that Juan was talking about us. The link to there could be available. We can learn a little bit more of experiential learning, you know, career innovation. We were able to secure some grant funding over the last 2 years to create some additional events that we've been promoting to students. Unfortunately, that grant comes to an end in March, but that's all created about climate action and jobs that really relate to, you know, the green economy. So we've been doing a lot of bringing partners into that. You can learn more about it. We still have events that are taking place from that. And our employer and community partners are here, and you can meet us there. But under career planning and resources, you ask about resume. You can book an appointment with an advisor. So, okay, I'm stuck. I'm not sure what to do. Or I saw this job posting. I don't really know if this is the right approach to do it. What should I do? You could always book an appointment. And the platform will give you the option to book either online or on campus, so you can choose. And then based on your selection, please check both schedules because they're different. You can find then our career services, and you can find the feed, obviously, but I'm going to jump into there. You can see our partners. You can select which programs we support. But if you're not sure, you can just select wherever is available and book it to your convenience. Coming back to, okay, but I'm here and I'm still not sure. Job search safety. Here we can go at strategic volunteers, but cover letter and resumes. Here's a cover letter. What is the exact template? Well, we'll give you some idea because templates, we have to be careful with templates and how it is, but we can give you a sense of what should be in a package. What should be the content, how you can do your language. What should you know? We give you some general samples of it. We don't give templates. We give you an idea maybe of the formatting that you can follow, as well the power of the cover letter. And then, you know, we have some kind of suggestions on how to build this ones. But when you say what sections, we start going you in here about what sections you can add. So this is information that is really available right away on our site. Besides that, in interviews, we have something similar, Ariadna. So if you're preparing yourself for an interview, and let's say, wonderful, you applied, you got an interview selected, and the interview is taking place next Tuesday. Don't delay this. I would say, review this tab and book an appointment with one of our advisors. Upload the job posting, upload the resume you use to secure that position. And in the criteria that I'm doing interview preparation, I would like to get assistance with this. We will be able to help you say, okay, what would be the focus? We will give you some examples of questions that you can consider. What are the things you do before, during, and after an internship, which as well you can learn it through here, right? But we try to give a lot of this to you and some things because we see a lot of interviews taking place as well online. I would like to just as well bring a little elephant into the room that we all know, and it's artificial intelligence. I think our students are savvy and very, well-informed individuals, and you know that there's artificial intelligence tools available out there to support you. Our big caveat with it, and we showcase how to use artificial intelligence for these perspectives on how to help you prepare. What we do want to share with you is they should be used with the same attention that you do for, maybe for your academic perspective. They're great resume checkers, and they can give you some great formatting suggestions. The issue we've seen is that employers who are not reading one resume are reading 50 to 60. We're still in a contracting market, meaning that there's more applicants per job. So if there's more applicants per job, they are reading more resumes, right? In Victoria, at least, we still have the majority of employers still reading the resumes. They're not going through application tracking systems. So if they're reading them, what I can tell you of artificial intelligence, they'll start sounding the same. I check in our courses because we get us an assignment, you give us your resumes, and you start receiving the same kind of language. And what we really need to make sure is you do not miss a voice. What is it really that your experience stands out? Artificial intelligence cannot do that for you. You need to do the hard work of identifying what were those accomplishments? Where did I be my best work? Can I quantify it? What was the result of it? And then we can use these tools accordingly. But we're happy to walk you through them too. So I just wanted to as well share that there's some of these resources are here. You can always book with us and you can get additional support from that perspective. I'm going to just stop sharing my screen now and back to you.
That was fantastic, Alejandra. Thank you so much for showcasing all the available services we have for our students. It is a lot and it's great. So if you're looking for a job or just thinking about getting into new industry, I think our website is a great place to start. And also book an interview with Alejandra or Juan or the rest of the team members, and they will be able to help you out. So I want to thank you, Alejandra, and I want to thank Juan. I don't know if you would like to add anything else that I'm missing from my questions. Is there anything else you would like to add before we start asking all the attendees for their questions?
From my perspective, just to let you know that the advisors are available for you are Sue, Heather, and myself. Juan is our external face. You will see him always around and always will welcome a conversation. But for appointments, it would be only with Sue, myself, and so Sue, Heather, and myself. And Juan, you'll see him always in all our events, providing that external face. So if you're in a West Shore event or a Chamber of Victoria, you'll see Juan around.
Okay. Good.
Now, from my side, just wish everyone the best. These are challenging times, but it's always, and the challenging and the changing is always constant. But these are also at the same time very exciting opportunities. Definitely, Royal Roads University has put in place work integrated learning and the career learning and development team that provide a strategic and sustainable framework for students to actually develop a career that is rewarding, that is connected with their academic interests, with their academic aspirations and their career aspirations. So as you were mentioning, there is a wealth of good and effective resources that are available for students. So please use them. It's all for you.
Okay, we have 5 minutes left, and this is the time now for questions and answers. So if you would like to ask Alejandra or Juan or myself a question, please write it on the chat function. And if not, you can always email them or book an appointment with them to ask all the questions you want. Let's see, let's give them a few seconds. And I forgot to ask you, Juan, a question about the main sectors right now in Victoria and in British Columbia that are demanding the most students or applicants. So in your perspective, what you're seeing from the labor market in Victoria and in BC, what are those sectors that are demanding more employees right now?
Well, I will start very quickly, but just reinforcing what Ali was mentioning. On the short term, the labor market is contracting. It is challenging nowadays. However, what we see is also that in every industry, most of organizations, there are still hiring opportunities, less than there were in the past, but there are hiring opportunities. The public sector is constantly hiring. We see organizations constantly looking for new talent. Also, the nonprofit industry keeps going and keeps moving and keeps evolving. So, by students interested in the nonprofit sector, there's also a great opportunity. But I see opportunities in every industry. There's not a single industry that is contracting more. There is not another one that is expanding. But actually, you can see and you can feel in the market still opportunities for students. We see as I was mentioning, organizations such as BC Ferries, BC Assessment, BC Transit, the general government in general, the tourism and the hospitality sector as well. They're constantly hiring. They're constantly looking for new talent. So definitely keep an eye on every single opportunity because there's definitely one. As I was mentioning, there are over 130 positions available to apply for in career roles, and we every day we receive posts for employers looking for applicants for the roles that are constantly hiring. So it's a contracting market, but definitely with opportunities for students.
Excellent. And another question I always get, what is the minimum salary that a student can receive from a part-time job? And when they graduate, what salary can they receive, like on average?
Well, the minimum wage in BC is currently $17.40. So anyone who is accepting a job offer, a legal job offer in BC, the minimum wage that they should expect per hour should be $17.40. And after or post graduation, the opportunities are big, and it's hard to say a number. But on average, for instance, a full-time position in BC with academic qualifications within the job posting can range between 35 to 45 to $50 per hour.
Fantastic. And we have one question here from Priya. It says, when we apply for part-time jobs, usually have seen that as we apply online, many of the jobs get closed without hearing back from the employer. What strategy do you advise for newcomers looking for part-time jobs in this scenario?
Okay, I have two things. One, from Juan, that he was answering, pay transparency. BC is the only province in Canada that launches pay transparency, and all of you students are benefiting from this because you could see the range of wages are being posted. So that helps you as well to understand, and hopefully more and more provinces adapt that, but that can give you a good understanding of wages are standing. Regarding what strategies? Well, career roads. Juan, how many part-time jobs you told us earlier this week are right now in our site?
Right now, there are around 35 part-time
Part-time.
job opportunities
Okay.
in career roads.
So,
But if I can just add what Ali was mentioning to this question, it is, I mean, it's the expectation that you usually have as an international student or even a domestic student is that most of the times that you apply for a job, probably you will not hear from the employer. That doesn't mean you didn't do anything wrong or everything. It's just a common practice, and usually employers in the job description will say only selected candidates will be contacted. So the expectation should be that. My advice will be just make sure that the applications and the time that you're using, the energy that you're putting in applications is according to the labor market and employer expectations. And that's why it's so important, as Ali was mentioning, to be familiar with the different resources available and be familiar with what employers are expecting. And currently, the labor market is a little bit tight. So obviously, employers have more opportunities, have more applications. So they have a more wide amount of applicants to choose from for their interview. So it's a little bit more challenging and demanding currently, the labor market, but just continue being perseverant and being persistent in what you want. It's also key. It's also very, very important to keep the hopes and the energy up, even if you're not hearing from the employer, because you know how the market system is, but keeping a faith and keeping optimism that you will get and you will land where you want.
And
Thank
Priya,
you so much.
I would
Yes,
say
Alejandra.
if you've been applying for jobs and you're now getting to the next phase, I think it's time for you to book an appointment. So book an appointment, show us, because maybe there's something in your application that is not resonating with that employer. So don't hesitate. Just upload the job description, the job posting. Always save your job postings and upload the resume that you're using and ask for feedback. We're happy to support you that way.
Fantastic. And Anna is also reminding us that if you are a current student at Royal Roads and you're seeking, thank you, Anna. Anna.
Yes, thank you, Ariadna.
Please
I
introduce
see we are
yourself.
talking. Yes, I
Yes.
see we are talking about the part-time, and I just want to remind everyone that for students, international students, if they are eligible to work, it would be up to 20 hours per each week. Cannot be combined that 1 week we do 15 hours and the other week we're gonna do 25.
25.
No, it can't exceed 20 hours per each week. So just as of now, as current law, this may change, and we are talking about off-campus work. Some students may be also eligible if they find the work on campus, then there is no limit of hours. But most jobs are outside of campus, and there will be a limit up to 20 hours per each week.
Fantastic.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ana. Thank you for your contribution. And thank you, Alejandra and Juan, for all the valuable information you've given us. And thank you all that have attended to this webinar. I look forward to connecting with you. And if you have any other questions, please do book an appointment with our career learning and development advisors that are here to help you out and navigate the Canadian labor market. So thank you all and have a wonderful evening.
Anyways, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.